Stand by. The program will begin soon.
An example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she's never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Canis Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh. Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentler tone.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive part, whether he can issue President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would be a
can't?
gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse.
President-
A presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, Jamie Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or
Ah,
at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he
about
get a
this.
pardon also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that
the
committee?
seeking of pardons is
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. You're going to condemn that pardon.
Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Hey, lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people. Commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama-Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to out and out deny anything. That's the weird.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The
Of a
audacity.
president who's so clearly
The
concerned about his own
audacity.
criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family member.
Select a Boy asks, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Have it got to stay out. Is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Trump has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician, has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about. And even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
It's another Friday and Friday Q&A. La da 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 da. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And I don't know why I'm talking this way, other than so that you'll have the dulcimer tones of the PDawgKnight. I don't know. It's kind of fun to talk this way. Actually, I've been talking this way all week because my son's in town and he's working right up there, right above me. So I don't want to get all, ranty and shit. So I'm trying to keep it down so that I don't disturb him. He has important business to do. He works from home and he's here this week. So this is working from home. And I'm working from home, but I'm trying to keep it a little bit, a little more subtle. You know what I mean? So anyway, how are you doing? Good morning. What? Dulcet, not dulcimer. Dulcimer is an instrument. Okay, well, whatever. The smooth and creamy tones of my voice. How's that sound? So anyway, yeah, I've got a lot to get through because there's some constitutional crisis issues, apparently. Oh, Lord. This guy. There was a big kerfluffle on the X, the app formerly known as Twitter, yesterday that I will get to, but boy, my God, people were panicking over something that happened up on the old internet, and so we'll get to that more. But first, I gotta say hi to y'all. Thanks for being here first in the chat today. Of course, on his game all week is Mr. Avocados Diabli. Yeah, you get the bell. In fact, I'm gonna give you two because your streak is intact. All right. Good morning. Also, good morning to Somnambule Nation and Louie is in the house. Willie's in the house. Gosh, is it going to be? I'm going to say Lord Stanhope 4 times. No. Good morning, Lord Stanhope. TC's in the house. Attack Alpaca. JB, what's up? Good morning, Anonymity. T2, I'll be back. Also, I said Lord Stanhope. Rick Ashbringer, what up? The Pope's here. Pope Tyrannius III, the Blessed Lich, with a message of hope. He says, blessings of he who is above all. May he on this day show you his grace, his mercy, and his love. Aww. That's super special. Also, good morning to, Johnny Boomer texting that. Randy Monkey. I've seen a lot of Monkey in the morning, and I don't mean his show, although I see a lot of that too. Nice to have you here in the morning where it's really morning, Monkey. Also, on the honorable mention list of favorite Canadians, Special Can Assets here. And I think that's it so far. How many like buttons have been clicked? Are you slacking? Yeah, 17 people so far. 6 likes. Come on, please. Let's get that ratio up. On a more normal sleep schedule these days. Well, yeah, I noticed that. That's good. That's a good thing, man. I'm glad you're getting sleep. That's, at least I'm assuming that. I don't know. Monkey stopped sleeping so he would stop killing celebrities. Yeah, that's, there's the problem there. You do have an issue with that for sure. So anyway, yeah, hit the like button, do all that stuff that everyone else tells you to do. And today's $5 Friday. Drop a 5 spot in the stream, and I will be happier than yesterday. Also, Blue Eyed Screams in the house. What's up? Nice to see you. People will be strolling in and out as we go along. So I'll say hi to you if you're already here and you haven't gotten in the chat. Yeah, I'll do that too. So, all right, let's quickly get into this day because I want to get through a lot of stuff. First, I want to address something, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later. But maybe I wonder. Oh, by the way, if you haven't shared the stream, share the stream. I forgot to do the share the stream thing. Okay, hang on. Let me. What the hell is that? Oh, here we go. Okay. Where am I? What am I looking for here? Notifications. Thanks to the people who have shared the stream so far. Let's get that list going. Sorry. technical difficulty there. Oh, and Monkey, I saw that thing you said, what a wonderful thing to wake up to. We're going to look at that. Today's, by the way, is going to be mostly a video day. I'm not going to get into too deep into any of the articles. I want to get through some videos, and it's Friday Q&A. You can ask me anything in the Friday Q&A, and boy, oh boy, do you ask me anything. It gets kind of weird sometimes. But anyway, thanks to people sharing the show. Somnambull Nation, of course, always tweets out the show. Beats me to it every day. There you go. A new have been reposted, aka Lincoln Description. Also, and a little what's her name? Olivia Newton-John action there. I don't know what movie that's from. Is that from Xanadu or what is it from? But anyway, Olivia Newton-John doing hot, showing us the armpits. That's cool. Thank you. And gone 3 years. Rest in peace, ONJ. With that said, let's go. Is that today that she passed away? I didn't know that. This is okay. That's from Xanadu, sure. Also, JB with the Daily Samurai movie thing going on here. They're battling. They're using that gunpowder. Also, Simon Wilkins, Free for All Friday, Constitutional Crisis Edition. Yep, that's me. An unopened can of Canada Dry wasn't too warm, so I drank it with my tea. Yeah, so here it is, the can of Canada Dry. There you go. You put it in your tea, though, or you just drank it at the same time? Did you put it in your pink thermos? What do you got a pink thermos for? My God, what's wrong with you? Anyway, thank you, Simon Wilkins. And Ty Alexander with the Daily Ric Flair. Woo! So there you go. Thanks, everybody. All reposted as we go along. If you want to share the stream. And thanks to people, other people shared the stream. Ty Alexander, JB, Ranting Monkey, and Somnambull Nation, of course. Oh, TC also. TC's on the ball. You posted the show too. Thank you very much. Mike Savage too. Let us go. Okay, they're rolling in as we go. All right, that's good. Thank you everybody for doing that. Every little bit helps. You know what? I'm up. I think I have 15 new subscribers over the last couple of days, mostly from the short videos that I've been doing. So that's been kind of good to see. It's for the first time I've had it. Actually growth in a while. I mean, of any kind, like not even one or two. So this is it's starting to work, I guess. Oh, Suit, man, no, Suit Yourself. Y'all remember? Anyone remember Suit Yourself besides me? Suit has been following me for a while, and I've been following him. We used to occasionally interact back in the 16, 17, somewhere around there. And he's a good dude. He makes those weird cartoon videos things. So it's good to see Suit on X. I haven't seen Suit on here in a while. That's good thing. So anyway, all right, let's get into some news. Well, first of all, the holiday today, the biggest holiday, and I'll tell you what, this is a holiday Elizabeth Warren could like, or AOC, or anyone that J.D. Vance might mention in a political statement. It is International Cat Day. It's International Cat Day. Why? I don't know, but lots of people posting pictures of cats. I got to be careful to not to scroll too fast, because just in case somebody shows me a picture of their pussy. There you go. So happy International Cat Day for all the lonely ones. And when J.D. Vance made that little joke about cat ladies, he wasn't talking about all ladies with cats. For example, my mother-in-law is a woman who lives alone with her cat, and I helped her pick out that cat, and that cat is the coolest cat ever, and my mother-in-law is pretty damn cool too. So I don't disparage single or women who live alone with their cats. Suit's in the chat. What's up? Nice to see you, Suit, man. I've been wondering about you, man. Anyway, so International Cat Day, go find the cat and stroke that pussy. Okay, never mind. I shouldn't say shit like that. Moving on, other things that are happening, holidays. National Mochi Day. I don't even know what a mochi is. What the fuck's a mochi? And I don't mean an emoji. A homemade mochi? What the fuck is that? Is that some kind of chocolate ball or something? Anyway, Ms. Wild Wolf's in the house. Nice to see you, Ms. Wild Wolf. Awesome. Somehow you got unsubbed. Oh, that's a bummer. Wow, that's weird. Anyway, good to see you, my brother. Nice. Another one of my friends from down under. One of the coolest dudes out there. It's also National Frozen Custard Day, so hit a Cops or a Culver's today and get yourself some frozen custard. National Pickleball Day. Now that must be new, because And speaking of which, Suit is now subscribed. Awesome. National Liam Day. Your name's Liam. Fuck off. I don't care about the day names. National Sneak some zucchini onto your neighbor's porch day. What the actual fuck is that? What the actual fuck is that? National Sneak some zucchini onto your neighbor's porch day. That's stupid. Now this is what I can appreciate. National Tarantula Appreciation Day. Yeah, I for some reason I think tarantulas are cool. But be careful if you handle them. And then there's a bunch of, my God, there's like 60 of them today. Usually there's like 10. But today there's multiple holidays. It'll be in the links. Fuck that. I'm done. I'm done with the holiday things. All right, let's move into let's see, what are we on next? Oh, also for the Catholics, it's the feast of Saint Dominic. I'm not Catholic, as we know, and JB will gladly tell you I need Jesus. But today we celebrate Saint Dominic, the founder of the Dominican order, known for promoting the rosary and preaching the gospel. So he's one of those rosary people. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. I being a follower of Martin Luther, I have questions about the Catholic Church, but you know what? We're all kind of trying to get in the same direction. He believed that knowledge and prayer must work together to spread God's truth. So there you go. Happy Feast of Saint Dominic. There's a really good little restaurant where I live called Dominic's, and they make really good Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So I might just go to Dominic's and have a feast today. Yeah, I'll be here all week. Okay, that sucked. Also, Jefferson Davis is trending today. Now, Jefferson Davis, what was he? The president of the Confederate States of America. He was their president, and he's trending today not because this was the day he died or anything, but because now his statue that was in the front of Richmond, Virginia, got torn down during BLM riots in the 2020. Well, they have it. They put it in a museum. Like they said, we want you to take these statues down. If you want to throw them in a museum or whatever, go ahead and do that. Well, this is how they do it. This was the Jefferson Davis statue in Richmond. Before a BLM mob tore it down in June 10th, 2020. It stood for 113 years. Kind of weird. Now, his hand is not out like that's not a Roman salute. He has his hand out like he's, begging for change on the street. But now it is an object of derision and desecration in the Richmond's Valentine Museum. So they've taken this defaced statue and they're putting it in a museum like this. Now, look, is that really necessary? I mean, fuck the Confederacy, right? But why? Why do that? I don't know. It's weird. Hello, JB. Your test has worked. Your test has worked. So, I don't know. I question if that's really the way to go, but whatever. Now, granted, he led a rebellion. Someone here says he led a rebellion against the United States of America, was headed for South America to conduct guerrilla war against the states when he was apprehended. Why the fuck should a statue of him stand in any U.S. town square? Okay, fine. I agree. He was basically a traitor or whatever, separated from the United States. It's okay, fine. Take the statue down. I mean, I personally, if people in town want a statue up or down, I don't give a shit. But, but then showing him in the face in a museum is kind of stupid too, if you ask me. Anyway, after sacrificing 360,000 Union soldiers to defeat the Confederacy, Lincoln's biggest mistake was his conciliatory stance against the rebellion and defeat. Okay. Someone said the reply to that, Davis did not lead a rebellion against the U.S. He was the president of a newly and legally formed Confederate States. Will you next say that the war was about freeing the slaves? Because it didn't start out that way. Whatever. I don't want to get into that argument of what the Civil War is about, but I just think it's kind of weird. Oh, someone here, this is someone from, I don't know where this person's from, but says many black people were at the funeral of Jefferson Davis grieving his loss. They they would not have wanted to see him displayed thusly. Activists driven by bitterness and hate have taken over public life. They ruin all the institutions and spread their bile everywhere. Well, regardless of what the statue looks like now, that last line is absolutely true. They are driven by bitterness and hate, and they have kind of taken over our public life. So it's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. I mean, I don't give a shit about Jefferson Davidson, but I just think that's in bad taste, no matter how, would you put how would they, let's say they took a statue of Hirohito of Japan from World War II, and they took a statue and did this to it. Would anyone be happy about that? I don't think so. Maybe Hitler. I don't know. Anyway, good morning, Ercole DeStefano, and number one is in the house. Nice to have you. And thank you, Tire of Fire, aka Tire Alexander, dropped a $2.30 in the tip jar, and now you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Tire says, and I'm going to, as a black man, Tire says, this is disrespectful. I can admire his courage to rebel against a government without supporting his reasons. You would think that the left would admire him as well, as given their desire to rebel and destroy our union in the modern day. Ooh, snap. Wow. That's a good point. All right. Anyway, so that's why that's trending. Let's move on. Oh, by the way, Randy Monkey says, what a wonderful thing to wake up to. Now, I don't know if what's Pearl's last name? What, you know Pearl. What's Pearl, the kind of the manosphere supporting wannabe, unmarried, not unattractive. Hello, Evan S. Anyway, someone posted this. Wait, let's see. Oh, this is the apparently this is the combat of the wannabe trad wives. So we're just, I hope there's no music on it, because, I don't like when that happens. But let's take a look at this. Thank you, Ranting Monkey, for this contribution. Yeah, Pearl Davis, is that her name? Yeah, Pearl the Childless. She's super tall. She's like 5'11" or 6 feet tall or something. She's a big woman. If you like big women, I don't know. She's annoying though. But anyway, this is apparently the combat of the trad wives. Let me see if there's music. I have to turn it off in just a second. I'm gonna let's see what happens. I don't care. These monetized videos are overrated anyway. Let's turn it. Okay, here we go. This is the Mortal Kombat of the trad wives. Oh, choose your destiny. Well, flawless victory. Wait, I want to see the tweets though. Hang on, let me go back because I want to see what this says. Okay, Sarah Stock. This is someone named Sarah Stock. She must be one of these trad influencers, whatever. I won. Okay, let's see what Pearl has to say about that. Hottest right-wing e-girl taken off the market. Conservative women will always use their marriage and family to build their brand. Okay. Again, we're in trad wife combat. Okay. Victory. Oh my God. Once you stop getting ran through by black guys, it could happen to you. Why stop there? Here, Sarah, live stream the wedding. Oh my God.
I suppose this could be considered a case of trad wife.
Do conservative women want the man, the ring, or the status? Oh, good God, Pearl. Call-in show tonight. Pearl, can't you just be happy for someone who's happy? Hello, Annalyn. What's up? Call-in show tonight. How many black men has Pearl slept with in the past 24 hours? Hey, look here, Sarah. Let me just, I know this is y'all getting back all on each other and shit, but let me just tell you something. There's nothing wrong with sleeping with black guys, okay? Just saying. I'm just saying, Sarah. Try it, you like it. Anyway, that aside, please. What's that word you say when you're done talking to the aside? I digress. Okay. Hello, Brent Hayes. What's up? Here we go. Okay. So then, Emily Saves America says the ring size. Which ring? Wait a minute. Excuse me. Which ring are we talking about? You know what I'm saying. Oh, yeah. I don't think size matters. This is Pearl. I don't think size matters, but I just wonder why men can't do nice things for us without it being public anymore. Emily Saves America. Size matters. Pearl responds. What does she say here? It depends on if you care about the money or the man. Oh, Lord. Hello, Tyler F. Now someone named Morgan Ariel. My God, is this all the trad wives jumping in? Morgan Ariel? You give it up for free, ho. I want to sit this one out. Oh, my God. Morgan, you are a single mother with a public video admitting you have HPV. You might want to sit this out too. God damn. Nothing more savage than a bunch of white women on the internet. Well, except for black women on the internet. They're all women are savage anyway. You suck black dick and probably have again. What's with this thing about black guys? What? There's nothing wrong with sucking black dick. Bitch, try it sometime. No, not with me though. Sorry, you can't. Emily replies, Morgan, your baby daddy abandoned you. You're raising a bastard child, but yet somehow you think you're better than me or anyone on this app. You gave it up for free, got left in the dust, and now post rage bait on X to supplement the inadequacy of your monthly child support. Morgan, you give it up for free. Oh, that's her replying to you give it up for free. You might want to sit this one out. Okay. Oh, my God. Was that it? That was it. Oh, my God. JB, you probably appreciate that. That's as close to a samurai movie as you can get with the trad wives. So there you go. Holy shit. What the hell happened there? That's some funny shit. All right, let's move on. People were talking about the revision of the jobs report in the United States the other day. Well, apparently Canada also is. By the way, I'm getting into news now. Actual news. Canada also has some job losses. Canada loses jobs amid rising youth unemployment. Canada's economy lost 40,800 jobs in July, marking a significant decline from the previous month. The national employment rate held steady at 6.9%, while youth unemployment rose to 14.6%, at the highest level since 2010, excluding pandemic periods. Full-time employment dropped by 51,000 positions, with private sector jobs decreasing by 39,000. So that's it's funny though, that losing 40,000 jobs is actually below the estimates. They thought they'd lose more. Disastrous jobs report today, youth employment decline, blah, blah, blah. So it seems like a North American problem. But anyway, so there you go. For what that's worth. I mean, my Canadian friends probably appreciate hearing Canadian news, right? Right? Okay. Next, Gaza City's trending. Apparently, the Israelis are evacuating people out of Gaza City. Prepare yourself. The screaming period cramps are about to take over a city near you, but that's okay because Israel is taking over Gaza. We'll see if that's what happens there. Usually when they evacuate a city, it means they're going to bomb the shit out of Hamas again. So there you go. I am looking at... Oh, we have a super chat from my friend Suit. What up, Suit? I'm so glad to see you still around. Suit says, with the $5 Australian super chat sent you a picture you can print and frame and hang up. Here's $5 AU emotional damage payment. Okay. Did you buy an X? Let me go check that out. Just a second. We're going to see if this is this safe for TV? Let's see, find out. X, what did you send me? Oh, where'd you send it? Did you send it in messages? Oh, new message. No. Where'd you? Oh, here we go. Nope, that's some crack hoe trying to catfish me. Sue, where'd you send it? Just tell me the super chat would not allow me to say I sent it on X. Do you send it by you didn't send it DM, did you? I don't see it. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Oh, you tweeted to me. Okay. Notifications. Well, shit, it's not showing up. Well, maybe it takes a minute. Yeah, DM me because it's not showing up in the in my notifications. So I'll look for it here. We'll see it in a minute, and I hope it's not true. If it's too traumatic, we'll see. All right. Why do people always do things that require on-the-fly use of technology when PDawg sucks at that? Really? Okay, we'll find it eventually. All right, let's get back to this real quick. So we got to have time for Friday Q&A. So we'll get through this part at least. Canada Utes, Gaza City, got that already. Bill Barr is trending. Bill Barr, the former, what's his name? Bill Barr, the former Attorney General of the United States. Apparently, people are finding information that Bill Barr might have been helping Fannie Willis on the RICO case targeting Donald Trump while he was the Attorney General in the United States. So there's a Project Veritas. I'll put both. I'm not going to play it, but I'll put them both in the links today. Project Veritas apparently has some. Let's see. Okay, that's part 2. Where's the breaking part 1 here? Let's go back here. Let's go back. There's part 2. Here's part 1. Okay. What? Wait. What are they doing? Well, here's what they said. Breaking part 2. Bill Barr held secret meetings to plot prosecutions of Trump and block his political comeback. Bill Barr was like, we should bring a RICO because it's very difficult type of charge to defend. This is a whistleblower who said that. You took my documents and phones and never returned them. Now you think you could move against me? Let me be clear. Your time is running out. Letting you live was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. And that's some Armstrong Williams said that. I don't know if Armstrong. That's weird. So anyway, here it is. Whistleblowers provided Project Veritas with explosive evidence of secret meetings orchestrated by former U.S. Attorney General William P. Barr to prosecute Donald Trump and prevent his political comeback. Full report with notes. I'll put that in the links today. This is the full report if you want to watch that. That would be, wow. That'd be a big fat wow, wouldn't it? If that's true. So anyway, all right, other news. Again, I'll put that in the links if you want to see it. Other news, a judge. Now wait, imagine this, okay? So the so-called Alligator Alley, or Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz, right? They're doing some more construction on Alligator Alcatraz. And lo and behold, a judge has blocked construction at Alligator Alcatraz. I keep on saying Alcatraz. Okay, you DM'd it? Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Alligator Alcatraz because let's find out why. We've seen this playbook before, but it never gets less infuriating. Just when President Trump's administration makes real progress securing our border and dealing with the illegal immigration crisis that plagued America for years, along comes another activist judge to throw a wrench in the works. U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams, an Obama appointee, naturally issued a temporary restraining order Thursday to halt construction of Florida's migrant detention facility dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. The 14-day order stops all construction projects at the facility, all of them, including lighting, paving, excavation, and fencing, though it doesn't affect current detainees. Williams justified her decision by claiming, wait for it, environmental concerns, citing potential damage to, quote, sensitive wetlands and threats to protected plants and animals. She made that shit up. That's amazing. There's more in the article. But yeah, it's like, oh, you're going to halt construction on something that's already built, but they're building more. See, that's the thing. So yeah, that's fucking brilliant, man. So now you have to go get, with that, you'd have to go get EPA environmental group. What? It was a suit brought by EPA or environmental group. Who knows? Here, you want some more detail? Let's see. Nope, it doesn't, I don't think it goes, okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. It doesn't really say in the article. The facility designed to hold up to 1,000 people is repurposed shipping containers that represent exactly the kind of decisive action, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but environmental groups and the Muscogee tribe sued, claiming the project threatens wetlands and could reverse billions of dollars worth of environmental restoration. Now, remember, where Alligator Alcatraz is built at an airfield that was in the area already. So they're not, I don't think they're excavating new ground. There was already an airstrip there, and that's where they're building it. So I'm not sure how they got this through. Of course, all you got to do is ask the judge. And so now they're probably going to have to go and get giant environmental impact statements and surveys and all this other shit. It's just a way to a workaround for not wanting it built. Fuck them. Here's an interesting thing that I saw this morning. The Democratic Socialists of America hold a panel on abolishing the family. Oh, thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Because families just suck. Hello, Shrapnel. What's up? It's been a while. Earlier this week, the Democratic Socialists of America uploaded to YouTube a video of a panel discussion from its annual socialism conference held in Chicago over Independence Day weekend. For those who hear the term democratic socialism and picture happy Scandinavians living their best lives instead of being chewed up in the capitalist rat race, it's worth noting that the discussion featured open calls for the abolition of the nuclear family in the United States. Now, holy shit, I have a question about that. How do you do that? What? You're gonna, like, when people get married and have kids, you're gonna what are you gonna do? Have a baby Gestapo that's gonna take them away so you don't have a family anymore? What does that even fucking mean? No surprise, the DSA is not a separate political party, but aligns itself with far-left Democrats like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez until they determined she wasn't pro-Hamas enough, and independents like lifelong communist Bernie Sanders. Like the Democratic Party itself, the DSA has become increasingly radical with younger generations over the last half-century. Their anti-family stance aligns with Karl Marx's imperative to abolish the family. How do you abolish a family? Holy shit. Anyway, I think there's probably a link to the video in this, but that's just, I hate to use the word retarded, but it's apropos, okay? I don't get it. Moving on. The Daily Wire, Trump fired the former acting FBI director who stonewalled the administration over J6. Yeah. Oh, this is a fucking Daily Wire article. Never mind. I always forget to check. Let me go find this thing Suit sent me. Hang on. Maybe somebody will have archived this already. I am not a robot. Oh my God. I hate when they do this. I don't know if these are bicycles. I can't even see the fuck. Is that it? Are those the bicycles? Okay, yeah, it's not archived yet. Let's see what Suit sent me here. Because, there we go. Oh, wait, what the hell? Suit, you know what? I think you're right. I think they're deleting whatever it is you're sending me. And, there. Oh, Lord. No, they didn't. Okay, I just want you all to prepare yourself for what you're about to see. I'm just saying, prepare yourself. Monkey, are you still here? You'll want to see this if you haven't. Fuck me. All right. Okay, let me I'm going to do what did they call those parental warnings? Parental something warnings on when they label stuff on things maybe not appropriate for children. Well, this one may not be appropriate for people who are not strong of heart. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There you go. For your viewing pleasure. Holy fuck. Okay. That's all. Thank you, Suit. Suit yourself. We'll be here all day. Thank you, Suit. I appreciate you, brother. Oh, God. That is nasty. To be fair, she looks better like that. Okay. Well, there you go. She's so hot. Okay, Suit. That will be haunting my dreams for years. Okay, that's still not up. All right, other things trending. Texas redistricting is trending. Lots of people still bitching about that. Governor Abbott says Texas has every right to redraw district lines to represent all voters. Democrats turned their backs on Texans. They fled and abandoned both the redistricting fight and flood victims. This is un-Texan, okay. By the way, the Texas Senate Special Committee on Congressional Redistricting just passed a map that could lead to 5 more Republican seats in Congress. The vote was 6-1. Now it goes to the Senate floor, Senate Bill 4. Now, it's interesting here because as I look at this map that they're trying to draw here, at least you don't see any major gerrymandering going on. Like, for example, Houston, if you look at the current Houston maps, it's clearly this big gerrymandered looking like C-shaped thing that basically runs around through all the minority neighborhoods in Houston. And now, granted, the demographics of those neighborhoods have changed over the years, but it's basically clearly designed to make sure that there is a particularly race of Congress person in that district that's very gerrymandered. And it brought me to the idea, because also if you look at Illinois, if you look at Massachusetts, if you look at Maryland, those states are all majorly gerrymandered, right, as far as their districts. And it brought, this happened to bring up an article here in Front Page by Dan Greenfield, which is an interesting question. The Voting Rights Act is illegal racial gerrymandering in some ways. And so the battle between Texas Democrats and state Democrats over gerrymandering seems likely to touch the biggest driver of Democrat gerrymandering, which fundamentally altered the political balance of power in the state after state after state. Louisiana versus Calais is likely headed for a big Supreme Court decision that will fundamentally change how the Voting Rights Act enforces minority districts. Because what they do, the Voting Rights Act basically required states to find a way to get representation in Congress for black people. So the Voting Rights Act basically required many states to cut districts that would work for that. And so and so it'll be interesting to see with this Supreme Court if they're going to say, well, wait a minute, you're mad about Texas just making even districts versus these extremely gerrymandered districts in some of these states. It's a very interesting topic. So if you want to read that, that'll be in the links today. Like I said, I'm trying to go through this fast, but I'm not going to get to, I am almost to my videos today. So that's fascinating. All right, let's get into some videos. And I'm going to start with, James Carville was trending today. So I'm going to start with James Carville. What Skeletor? Is that what we could call James Carville? James Carville is a bitter, angry motherfucker. Just to be honest. And apparently he is claiming, and I named the show Constitution, or the subtitle Constitutional Crisis today, because of 3 Constitution related videos we're going to look at today. So Byron Donalds posted this on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, saying James Carville, the former Democratic consultant and the very close friends of the Clintons, claims that for Democrats to save democracy, remember, because democracy is very important to Democrats, because to them they think it means democracy, and if democracy to them means Democrats in power forever. For Democrats to save democracy in 2028, and they only care about the presidential election too. That's kind of weird too. They think, because they're convinced that Donald Trump's going to try to be a three-term president, and I'm doubting that. And here's the other part, is that they're not gonna. There's no way for him to force the issue, but they seem to think that he's all powerful. And again, I've said this before. One of the things that I am very wary of Donald Trump for, because I've always been wary of Donald Trump, is that him continuing this presidential power thing that has been going on probably since, I would say somewhat since George W. Bush, but definitely during Obama, where I have a phone and a pen, and then Donald Trump's first term, where he, executive orders were his friends, but he at least followed, the court's decisions. And Biden, I'm just going to do whatever I want, and the people, my staff will run the country, and they'll do whatever they want, and make him take it to the courts. And now Donald Trump kind of doing the same thing. I don't like the fact that the presidency is gaining all this power. I'd much rather go back to the idea that the federal government, especially, it had limited roles, and all of these branches of the federal government had limited roles, and things were controlled more locally. Local politics is where should affect you more than national politics. And unfortunately, we're all very, very caught up in national politics. But he continues to write here. Let's look back at what Democrats believe saving democracy meant in the past 5 election cycles. So here we go. During the 2016 election cycle, Democrats paid for the Steele dossier, created fake Russian collusion narrative, and used it to open the Crossfire Hurricane investigation against Trump. During the 2018 election cycle, Democrats weaponized our federal bureaucracy, and they used the Mueller special counsel investigation and Kavanaugh Supreme Court nomination to create an astroturfed media panic against Trump. During the 2020 election cycle, Democrats wrongly impeached Trump, covered up Hunter's laptop and Biden family corruption, promoted BLM riots, and abused COVID restrictions. During the 2022 election cycle, Democrats wrongly impeached Trump again, conducted politicized January 6th committee, facilitated invasion of illegal aliens, and sent the FBI and DOJ after law-abiding Americans, Catholics, and parents who don't like what's going on in their school districts. And during the 2024 election cycle, Democrats engaged in unprecedented lawfare, charged Trump 91 times, put Trump up against 2 general election opponents, and Trump even survived 2 assassination attempts. But here's James Carville saying what?
If the Democrats win the presidency, the Senate, and the House in 2028, which is not impossible, they are just going to have to unilaterally add Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia states, and they may have to expand the court to 13 members. If you want to save democracy, I think you got to do all of those things.
So, yeah, this is that mantra that the Democrats, if they get power again, they need to cheat so that they're in permanent power by adding 2 new states, packing the Supreme Court. The real definition of packing the court, which is adding more people to the court so you have a majority, which is what he's proposing with the 13. And it's I thought he was in a hospital bed there. He's in his chair in his sunroom or something. Anyway, save democracy by, yes, good, blue-eyed scream, exactly. Save democracy by solidifying power. They don't care about democracy. They care about power. And so if it were yesterday, I'd say FTG James Carville. But I would say that anyway, because fuck that guy. All right. Oh, Selected Boys in the house. What's up?
Yeah, boy.
All right. Let's do a couple of videos, then we'll get to a Friday Q&A. The other one that was, oh my God. I'm going to apologize to you right away. Because it's Keith. Now, I foreshadowed this at the beginning of the show. Something happened yesterday that had Twitter all abuzz. Okay. And Keith, I'm none other than Keith Olbermann. I'm going to let him explain what happened yesterday. And then I'm going to tell you why he's an idiot, or why all these people who are complaining about this are idiots. Now listen to this.
At this hour, the United States of America does not have a functioning government. The Trump...
Really? What does that even mean, Keith? What? I'm interrupting right now because he starts his little rants this way a lot. Does not have a functioning government. What exactly does our government do? Like when you say it's not functioning, what does that even mean, Keith? Okay, let me finish it. I'm gonna let you finish. In the immortal words of Kanye West. Hello, Simon Wilkins. What's up? Fucking Keith.
Dictatorship and the Library of Congress. That's Congress run by Mike Johnson, apparently using a porn app to do so. Deleted.
What does that mean? The fuck does that mean, Keith? But anyway, listen. I'm gonna start it over just because I cut him off in a place where you're not gonna hear what he said. Let's try this now.
At this hour, the United States of America does not have a functioning government. The Trump dictatorship and the Library of Congress, that's Congress run by Mike Johnson, apparently using a porn app to do so, deleted part of the Constitution online Wednesday, that part which limits the suspension of habeas corpus, that other part which limits presidents accepting foreign bribes. The Library of Congress says it was a coding error and would be fixed soon.
Okay. Now, he's saying we do not have a functioning government and that the Library of Congress deleted part of the Constitution online. Now, a lot of people were complaining about this yesterday because apparently some pages, there were some error pages that happened yesterday. The Library of Congress came out and said, yeah, we had a coding error. We're trying to restore part of our website, blah, blah, blah. But the parts that he said were missing. I think there were some other parts that are missing that nobody really cared about because they wanted to make some hay out of this particular thing. But it got me to thinking, Keith says that we don't have a functioning government right now, and that, okay, so this page got deleted, was missing on the Library of Congress Constitution page. My question would be, so if they deleted it, let's say they deleted it, and if it's accident or on purpose, does our Constitution only apply if it's on the Library of Congress website? Like, did they burn the pages in the archives that had that, and and Trump said by decree that these parts of the Constitution are gone? Like, did they remove it from the copies of the Constitution in the Supreme Court of the United States of America? Did they remove it from all the law books? Did they remove it? Did they say that they're going to take this off of every website in the country? Is that the only way that those parts of the Constitution count, is if it's on the Library of Congress website? What does that mean, Keith? What does that mean to all you people complaining about it? It's like, it's not the only, like, oh, was it the only copy? Did you not have a photocopy just in case someone accidentally deleted the website? What the actual fuck does this even mean? It means nothing. Hello, Mrs. Wild Wolf. What's up? I think I already said that, though. But anyway, what? You moron. You freaking moron. all of you even saying whether it was because how many websites are there are copies of the Constitution? Was it removed from all copies of the Constitution throughout the United States government and other people who post this shit at every law library and every college in America? What are you? Oh my God, you're an idiot. No, let me. What else did he say? He said some other stupid shit too.
Ish. Yeah, the coding in Trump's DNA.
Oh,
meanwhile, the White House has had to deny that the White House chief of staff was to dine with the vice president, the attorney general, the deputy attorney general, and the FBI director to discuss what to do about Trumpstein, about the Trump-Epstein cover-up scandal, and what to do with the recording of the deputy attorney general's 2 days of bargaining with a convicted pedophile and sex trafficker. And nobody seemed to notice that the real headline in that was that whatever the chief of staff, AG, deputy AG, and FBI director were meeting with the vice president about, the president was not going to be at that meeting. There is no competent executive authority, no congressional or Senate oversight, no reliable judiciary. The United States of America does not now have a functioning government. The nominal president has spent the last...
I'm pretty sure there's still rangers at the national parks. I'm pretty sure there's still a guard at the Washington Monument. I'm pretty sure that what is it exactly that our government does that's not functioning right now, Keith? Just because you don't like what's going on. I would like to offer you a nice warm cup of shut the fuck up. Okay, enough Keith Olbermann. I'm going to do one more. I'll do my other constitutional one. I have a couple others in here. But this is let's see, we did Carville. Oh, here's the other. I'll do the other guy in the pictures here. This guy. Okay. Now, I find this one a little funny too, because the guy is trying to tell us something. I'm gonna close all these other ones. This guy's trying to tell us something that seems to be a secret to some people, and I'm just trying to figure out why this is a secret to anybody. But here it is. This guy wants to tell us about the 25th Amendment. But I find it interesting how he describes it at the beginning. Okay, listen to this.
There is a way to dump a president that only a handful of people know about.
Only a handful of people know about? Only a handful of people know about? Can you guys see my cursor moving around? Do you see that? See my cursor? I can't remember if I have it set so you can see it or not. You mean only a handful of people know about this right here? The 25th Amendment? What do you mean only a handful of people know about the 25th Amendment? You know, we talked about it a lot during Joe Biden's presidency. I'm pretty sure plenty of people know about it. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, who says, you aren't getting it. There is a conspiracy afoot. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. 223. He said, Avocados Diablo says, you aren't getting it. There is a conspiracy afoot. All the printed copies of the Constitution for the last 100 years are wrong. And they deleted the website, so you would never know it. Obviously, yeah, that's exactly it. Good morning, Jethro Hetterer. I'm beginning to suspect Trump just... anyway, thank you very much, Avocados Diablo. Love you, brother. So this guy, yeah. Only a handful of people know about this secret way to get rid of a president.
And you are about to be one of them.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a special club now.
As usual, I will keep it simple.
No, please do.
If you're a fan of simple, follow America the Possible. Give us a like, share this video, and spread the word.
Spread the word? No, he's going to tell us something new. Yay.
Okay, it's not impeachment. It's called the 25th Amendment.
You mean that amendment that took 3/4 of the state to ratify? Only a handful of people know about that. Siri, what year was the 25th Amendment adopted in the United States Constitution?
On the 15th of December, 1791.
No. Siri. What year was the 25th Amendment ratified? February 10th, 1967. My God, the 25th Amendment was ratified by 3/4 of states voting yes on it. In 1967, I imagine a handful of those people are still alive. I mean, there's got to be people who were alive in 19... Wait a minute. I was born before 1967. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Anyway.
And here's what it says.
Well, what does it say?
If the president loses it, I mean like Looney Tunes.
Is that a quote? Is that a quote in the 25th Amendment? Looney Tunes? I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Loses it. The vice president, together with a simple majority of the cabinet, can get together and declare him or her unfit to...
And they didn't do this under the last president? How is that? What the fuck? Why did that happen? Oh, Kamala Harris. Yeah. Now, I want, did he make this video recently? Yeah, this is fairly recent. These replies are from just a couple of days ago or yesterday. So he didn't do this like during Joe Biden's term. That's weird because what he goes on with makes me think that this would have made more sense about a year ago.
Be president. All they have to do is sign a declaration to that effect, hand it to the president pro tem of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, and just like that, the vice president moves into the Oval Office.
What?
Now,
what?
The Looney Tunes president has the right to send his own declaration over to Congress saying that he's the one that's okay and that it's the vice president who's gone nuts.
That would have been appropriate 1 year ago. I'm telling you, the cat fight would have been amazing. And oh my God, imagine all the black women going, yeah, go Queen. Anyway.
Then it's up to Congress to decide which of the two of them is the nuttiest.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what kind of test that would be, but it sure would be fun to watch.
Okay, so little known fact, there's a thing called the 25th Amendment. Congratulations, you are now educated, because they always say educate yourself. Well, he took the time to educate you. Holy fuck. Okay. All right, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's about that time. It's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the weekly Friday Q and A. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, for the generous use of spacers on the Friday Q&A. As soon as I can get this thing to work again, I don't want to do a technology flub up here. Why isn't this scrolling? Oh, there we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Friday Q&A, where you ask me questions and I answer them to the best of my ability. Most of the time. Sometimes I just say, fuck it, I don't know. But if I know the answer or I can make something up, I will do it. It is Friday Q&A. And today's first question, of course, comes from none other than the master of the question asking proficiencies, Avocados Diablo, who asks, if after, oh my God, oh my God. Just the first sentence of this question. Oh my God. What's wrong with you? Okay, I'm going to try to get through this without spit. Well, I'm not going to drink coffee right now because it'll be all over my screens. If after a night of filling your rectum with vodka from a turkey baster, the cops find you changing a flat in the cereal aisle of a Piggly Wiggly, and ask how much you've had to drink, and you say, nothing, are you lying? Well, no. Now, if they had been asking, have you been injecting? You'd have to say yes, but they said, have you been drinking? Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, Lord Stanhope, absolutely not. In fact, you all can try to answer these questions with me. I should have always had that be a thing too. You can give your best answers to these questions too in the chat. Okay. Next question is also from Avocados Diablo, who says, which member of the Jackson 5 would have made the best sniper? Well, that's dumb. What a dumb question. Obviously, it'd be Tito because he's used to holding things like this. Although Jermaine, too. Jermaine held a base. But nah, I'm saying Tito. Tito would have been the best sniper. JB asks, favorite Canadian band? Ooh. Well, you know, it's a tough question usually because sometimes you don't figure out a band's from Canada until way too late when you're in the United States. But I guess honestly, my favorite Canadian band's probably Rush. Just because just technically and musically and creatively and skillfully, might be one of the best bands ever as far as just having three amazing musicians. And I'm not even necessarily a fan of all their songs, but just their musicianship was out of this world. So there you go. Avocado Diabli asks, if the government offered a program where for every one of your toes and fingers you cut off, they would give you $100,000, how many would you cut off? Yeah, none. I'm not cutting off any limbs just for money. Well, not for $100,000. So there you go. Sound Noble Nation asks, why do you want this job? Follow up. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have to think what job you're talking about. Where do I see myself in 5 years, though? On an island south of Spain. I don't know. Are there islands south of Spain? There's not really. The only island south of Spain is the continent of Africa. Although there is that one island that you can walk on an isthmus, whatever you say, how you say that. You can walk on an isthmus across, but it's basically an old military fort and prison, so I don't think I want to live there. Anyway, in 5 years, that would be kind of cool. Lord Stanhope asks, seriously, what is a Zorbas? Oh, you mean my sweatshirts and some of those in the previews and stuff, and the sweatshirts I have? Zorbas is it's a restaurant that the original Zorbas is on Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. They are back in the day when they opened in the early 80s, they were party spots basically and they have about 9 of them on different lakes around northern Minnesota near resorts and stuff. They Mexican food and pizza, and they have great bars, and they're fun. They're, for whatever reason, summers on a lake that has a Zorbas is always a party at Zorbas. So there you go. It's a just fun bar. Avocados Diabli asks, why is it when ugly, fat, autistic, non-binary white women get together to smash watermelons, and when asked what it meant, does not one of them reply, beats me, I just like smashing things? Do you want the full answer or the technical answer? It's really just, for most of them, they all go to very similar therapists, and that's part of their therapy. So, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Wait, cue the Herb Albert record. Tyre says, I see myself as the CEO of Piggly Wiggly. Mary Ithmith, Mike Tyson. Oh, my goodness. I had a joke that was about lisping, and I can't remember what it was. I'll have to remember that as a dad joke. It was pretty funny. Okay, Avocados Diabli asks, seeing as how potato chips are so good and potato chips are good at starting fires? Okay, all right, let me start this question over. Seeing as how potato chips are so good at starting fires, and every arsonist friend, do you think there's a flavor of chip that burns best? If so, what would it be? Well, okay, as someone who's not an expert in this field, because I've never really set anything on fire that I didn't mean to be contained, I'm going to have to say best flavor for burning chips. Let's say salt and vinegar chips of the Lay's variety. Okay, that's my best answer. Potato chips are great for arson. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. Okay, Lord Stanhope asks, if you show up at a salami fight with bologna, as opposed to, bologna or bologna, whichever you prefer, what's the best case scenario? Well, see, the problem is if you show up at a salami fight with bologna is kind of soft, and you still get your ass whooped by someone with the salami, unless you're a really good aim and are good at ducking. So I'm just saying the best case scenario is you duck well and you hit twice, and that's the best case scenario for you. So there you go. Lord Stanhope asks, why are you a bourbon snob? Oh no, I'm not a bourbon snob. I'm not a bourbon snob at all, as long as it's from Kentucky. I'm not a bourbon snob. I'll drink cheap bourbon. I'll drink good bourbon. I'll drink whatever bourbon. Bourbon is my friend. Avocado Siabli asks, if after you die, you were given a choice to reincarnate as either a fish with erectile dysfunction or a hamster with breast cancer, which would you choose? Well, I'm not sure do fish even have penises? Kind of. They just squirt stuff all over the eggs that are in the middle of the water, right? So I would have to be the fish with erectile dysfunction because I don't care. I mean, and a hamster with breast cancer? No, because then I'd be fucking research. So forget that. Avocado Siabli asks, speaking of you in churches, what is your opinion on Docetism versus Arianism? You know, I might have to look that up later. I have no idea what either of those things are. Anybody in the chat know what those are? Docetism, Docetism, versus Arianism, Arianism. I don't have any idea. Lord Stanhope asks, if Aussie decided to snort ants and those ants were self-replicating Franken ants and Aussie's genetic material infected said ants, would there be an empire of self-replicating Franken Aussies? No. That's not how it works. Okay, if he infected these said ants, you would just have a empire of giant self-replicating Franken ants that had not an aversion. What's the opposite of an aversion? A desire for bats. And so instead of the bats eating the ants would be eating the bats. And that's all I can think of. That's the dumbest answer to a really weird question. Lord Stanhope asks, I just took the largest dump of my life, but before I could wipe, the dump opens its eyes and screams and curses me for its existence. As it extends a pointed claw at me, what do I do? This is pretty simple. Run. Just run. Look, and I don't mean like run, but run and go, and then as soon as you can, go find another place to wipe your ass, because you don't want any claw bearing dumps coming after you. But shut the door after you leave, after you run though, or on your way out the door. Anyway, that's a crazy question. Here's a follow-up question. What time is it? Okay, I'm doing good. Lord Stanhope says the self-replicating Franken Aussies. Well, see, now we've already established there are no self-replicating Franken Aussies because it doesn't work that way. But let's try to humor your hypothesis here. These self-replicating Franken Aussies have conquered the earth, but have divided into two tribes, the Black Sabbaths and the Blizzard of Oz's. What side do you take, and what do you do? Well, in that impossible scenario, I'm probably going to do the Blizzard of Oz's, just because I was never the greatest Black Sabbath fan, but I began to appreciate Ozzy during the Blizzard of Oz phase. Although now that I go back in time, War Pigs was Black Sabbath, right? I kind of like that song, and in fact, I really liked who did it redid. Oh, when T-Pain did it in a little intimate concert, I thought that was brilliant. Even Ozzy Osbourne said, "Hey, this is the greatest version of my song ever," including me singing it. Okay, let me keep going here. Somnable Nation asks, what is a risk you have taken in life and what were the results? For probably, when I was back in my bartending days at TGI Fridays, TGI Fridays had a program called the Passport Program where you could take a 6-month leave of up to a 6-month leave of absence, and you could travel wherever you wanted around the country. And they gave you this, the company had this thing called a passport so that you're certified in different things to work in the restaurants. And, and you can pick up shifts in any TGI Fridays in any city in America. And so I did that. I actually did that for 6 months. I took a full 6-month leave from my store. I traveled west, went all over the, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, California, Southwest, all around for 6 months and just drove around in my car, went and saw things and pick up shifts when I needed money. And that was probably one of the coolest experience. The result was I got to visit a bunch of friends that I knew from college or high school while I was out there. Met some really nice people. Spent about 3 weeks in Las Vegas with the crew there. Stayed in a house with some of the cooks. Learned how to play Dungeons and Dragons. I had no interest in it, but it was actually kind of fun. Went up and down the California coast. Went to beaches, rode I took my bicycle with me too. And one day I rode my bicycle from the farthest north beach in the Los Angeles area to the farthest south beach in Los Angeles, like 40 miles, just down the beach path all day. And then spent came back through the southwestern states, went through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and then back to the Twin Cities, and it was great. It was a great experience. Learned a lot about myself, and met a lot of nice people along the way. So it was a great result. So there you go. Avocado Sally asks, with all the people throwing dildos on WNBA courts mid-game, how long do you think it will be before we start seeing fleshlights being tossed on NBA courts in mid-game? Speaking of which, there's where is it? Let me see if I can find this. There was oh shoot, I accidentally closed it. One of the NBA coach, here, Coach Reeve was talking about this on here, let me show you this real quick. Let me show you this. So Coach Reeve's on fans throwing green dildos on the court. She's not very happy about it. And I can imagine. Coach Reeve is the coach of the Minnesota Lynx. And they were doing an interview with her, and she talked about this very subject. So let's check this out. Hang on a second. Full middle. There we go. She had something about this very subject.
Throwing things onto the court. Obviously, you guys know
it's a danger to the players.
And I just want to comment on.
Oh wait, what is that? No.
Sexualization of women.
No, don't do that. That's wrong. Stop it. Oh my God.
And it's not funny. And it should not be the butt of jokes.
It's not funny at all. It's not funny.
Or in print.
It's
or
not.
Comments.
It's not funny.
The sexualization of women is what's used to hold women down. And this is no different. This is just its latest.
That's it. That's just so childish. I don't think they should do that. That's terrible. I'm trying not to laugh. I try not to laugh. I'll put that in the links. That'll be at the end near the aggregator. If you want to share that with your friends and your mom, send that to your mom. Your mom will appreciate that. All right, moving on. The probability. I'm sure it'll happen at least once. And what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. Okay. This stupid shit's going to get out of hand, and it's going to land on the floor, and some player's going to, some player's gonna step on it and it's gonna like ooze some gooey crap out of it, and they're gonna fall and land on their back, and then there'll be a lawsuit. And you know what? It's irresponsible to throw anything on a court during a sports event. Somebody could really get hurt. I don't mean to make fun of the situation, but don't do that. Don't. And what I don't get too, it's happened 3 times. Why are there people who are they going to have like dildo checks in your bags now? Like, you know, like they do when security at football games, they check what's in your bag and you can't have any prohibited items. And are dildos going to become a prohibited item? And out of curiosity, will it be just a prohibited item for women, or will it be a prohibited item for everybody? You know, are they going to be checking pockets and stuff? And what if they accidentally think that, you know, you have a dildo in your pocket and that's just you? What are they going to do? Anyway, never mind. All right, let me move on. Oh no, here we go. Lord Stanhope asks, the self-replicating Black Sabbaths and the self-replicating Blizzard of Oz's have made peace and have agreed to co-rule the earth in the name of metal and drug use. Do you stay or rocket yourself away? Well, again, this hypothetical would require a biological phenomenon that could not happen. So I'm going to stay. Lord Stanhope asks, has socialism become a religion or at least a cult? I wouldn't say a religion. It's become cult-like, and I think people don't understand that you could never have socialism without capitalism first. And and then when you actually have the socialism, you realize that it doesn't work all that great. I mean, certain things can be shared things, but don't go overboard on it. But so I would say more of a cult. Select a Boy asks, what was something that you lived to regret? Well, look. Obviously, I lived. I have to think about that. Getting into a lot of debt when I was younger took me a long time to dig out of it. That was sucked. I lived to regret that. And but now I'm doing pretty good. All right. Lord Stanhope asks, for all the lovers of democracy, do any of them understand that a true democracy was never any larger than a city-state? Well, yeah, no, they don't. When they think democracy is, 51% should be able to rule everything, when in reality, they didn't get 51% of the vote in the last presidential election. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Moving on. Miss Wild Wolf asks, if you could pick one furry friend as your go-to that can go anywhere with you for no extra, what would it be and why? Well, obviously my dog. My dog is the coolest. Unless that was a trick question. Was that a trick question? I hope not. My dog. My dog is cool. Select Boy asks, how many questions do I have left? Oh, I got to hurry up. Okay, I got to do lightning round now. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Select Boy asks, 3 ladies went to an ice cream shop for some ice cream. One woman was licking her cone, one was biting her cone, and the other was sucking her cone. Which one of them is married? I don't like questions like this. Probably the one was licking her cone, one was biting her cone, and one was sucking her cone. Which one of them is married? The one who's not doing any of those things. I shouldn't say that, Lady Boomer. I'm just kidding. If you watch this, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Lord Stanhope asks, since you would quit your job, then make an absolute since you would quit your job rather than make an absolute old fashioned, what other drinks would you say F this job to? Anything involving semen? It's pretty easy. Lord Stand-Up asks, self-replicating Frank and Aussies have discovered faster than light travel and have begun conquering the universe. What sci-fi race civilization do you think could stand a chance against hims? None. None at all. There's no stopping the self-replicating Aussies. Oh, excuse me, self-replicating Frank and Aussies. None. Select Boy asks, was there anyone that ever walked past you and said, "Hey, sexy"? Fuck, I get that all the time. Fuck. You walk downtown Minneapolis. I mean, the hot chicks, the gay guys, everyone would say that to me. I don't know how to stop it, man. So there you go. Select Boy asks, what's the worst kind of pest to deal with? The Krasensteins. Lord Stand-Up asks, what's for dinner, and would you have dinner with a self-replicating Frank and Aussie? Well, fuck yeah, I'd have dinner with a Frank and whatever you just said. And for dinner tonight, that's a good question. Lady Boomer's out of town. I'm here with my son. Maybe the daughter-in-law's getting around, but they're not. They got to go to a engagement party. I might just eat some leftover salad. Not salad. That's gross. I don't have. I just pulled some chicken. I took, if you take a rotisserie chicken from either Sam's Club or Costco and you put it in a gallon Ziploc bag, you can smash it up really good. And so you can have pulled chicken, then you debone it after you smash it all up. I'm going to have some chicken with some hot sauce and maybe a side of potato salad. That's probably because I got some potato salad there. Or a Philly cheesesteak from Dominick's. Oh, yeah, never mind. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to Dominick's tonight. All right. Where are we at? I'm almost done here. Suit asks, thoughts on all the different types of censorship happening in different Western countries at the moment. I think it's fucked up, especially in the UK where they're arresting people for fucking Twitter posts and I know they're kind of doing that shit in Australia too. I know they do it in New Zealand. There should be no Western country where they're censoring people, but it's all political power ploy by mostly the left-wing governments of those places, and it's completely and utterly fucked up. It's ridiculous. Select Boy asks, what's the best pro wrestling era? Look, everyone thinks their era where they watched something was the best. So same like the NBA, if you were a Magic Bird era, you thought the Magic Bird era was best. If you're a Jordan person, Jordan's best. If LeBron's the best. I really enjoyed the Attitude Era on WWF. Now, I watched wrestling some. Although the era just prior to the Attitude Era was really good too. But the Attitude Era was just so fucking off the chain, rowdy, raunchy, and just kind of, people would be like if they were really that into themselves and actually fought like that. So I think it was pretty good. All right. I don't want to skip a question here. Here we go. Avocado Cialias, if you had to resort to eating your own organs, which would you eat first? Holy fuck. That's a really wild fucking question, AD. And I suppose pancreas, because I don't know what it does. Hopefully I don't need it. Selected Boy asks, at what age do you feel as the old man yells at the cloud stage? I'm going to say 75. That gives me 14 years before I'm that guy. We'll see. Lord Santabest, does therapy actually work? And if so, would it help ease the pain of demonic possession, extended exorcism? You need your pancreas to digest food. Oh, well, then I'd be fucked after that. Which if I'm resorting to eat my organs, just let me die. Okay? Just let me die. Oh yeah, does the therapy actually? No, therapy doesn't work. I think therapy is bullshit now. Look, here's the thing. Therapy is not done. A lot of people assume that therapists are doctors or have that doctor training, and they're not. Therapy and like the DSM, the DSM-5 or whatever the DSM thing, the reason those were developed is so that you could bill insurance companies for therapy. But I would say about 70% of therapists basically just get you to talk, and they get you to find a demon, and then you begin identifying that as that demon rather than trying to expel that demon. And sometimes therapists basically make you look for things to resent and look for things for you to blame rather than help you get through those things. So I think I'm not a fan of therapists. And so there you go. That's my answer. Avocado, why did the little old lady who kept eating one thing to kill the last thing? Wait, why did the old lady who kept eating one thing to kill the last thing she ate in the song not just drink some Ipecac or something similar and just throw up the fly? Ah, yes, I know what song you're talking about. It took me a minute to figure out what song you're talking about. That's a children's song. Yeah, that, definitely just, if you ate the fly, throw that thing up. That, you know what? The answer to that is because she wasn't thinking ahead of time, Anyway, Lord Stand Up asks, you understand the Franken-Aussies are coming for you, and they're bringing the Franken-Sharons. Okay. Whatever. That's cool. Got it. Sure. Why not? Avocado Sally asks, do you think anyone will ever toss one of those ejaculating dildos on the court that will squirt fluid all over the players as it bounces? Don't ask how I know that's a thing. Well, that's special. Yeah, probably. Wait, Ms. Wildwolf, laughing my ass off. I don't know what that means. Okay. Avocado Sally asks, would you rather carry me 1,000 miles on your back through loose sand on a beach or watch 48-hour loop of Kamala and Willie sex tapes? It depends. If it's on, do I have to watch it, or it just has to be on where I'm in my location? That's a good question. Because if I could just get through it 48 hours and be done with it, no, never mind. I'd carry you 1,000 miles through loose sand. We could go across the Sahara or some shit. Ms. Wildwolf asks, would you drink a line of curdled drinks, not knowing what was in them, alcoholic drinks, for 1,000 new subscribers? No. There are some drinks that you make that are curdled on purpose. Like there's some shots that are like that. Nah, I'm not a fan of drinking things that I don't know what's in it. I don't know. I'm a little weird. And I don't know if that's weird. That's probably normal. Not drinking something that you don't know what's in it. So no, I'm not desperate for subscribers. Ms. Wildwolf asks, what do you think about those that are being arrested for silently praying, and what would you do with the ones arresting them? That's one of those things that happened in Canada. Or was it? No, that was in the UK. Literally, the person got arrested. They weren't saying anything. They were just doing a silent protest, didn't carry a sign, nothing. The officer asked them if they were praying because they weren't saying anything. And yeah, I'm praying silently. And they got arrested. That's probably what Sue was talking about. The censorship. That's how fucking, that's how, you know what I'm saying? That's how fucking nuts that is. It's crazy. All right. Last two questions. First one. Suit asks, not a question you have to answer or mention. Just letting you know I have 30-second redub Sydney Sweeney advert linked to your DMs. You can end with it afterwards if you want to. Don't have to. Well, I appreciate it. And, well, now, no more questions, please, because now there's two more still. Avocado Stiabli asks, is this the first question? No, but it's the second to last. And the last question, this is it on Friday, Q&A. It's the last question on Friday, Q&A. Miss Wildwolf asks, did you know that if you use top shelf vodka and add Bailey's, but if you add rail vodka, it will curdle? Yes, I did know that. I know that Baileys will curdle in some inferior liquors, but not in the good liquor. So there you go. And that's the end of Friday Q&A. Thank you, everyone, asking questions. I have a moment here. Let's just see what this is. I got to see what Suit sent me here because I'm sure it's special. Oh, wait. Is it in my DMs? Where did you send it, Suit? Damn it, Suit. Oh, wait. What happened? Suit, you're gone. Uh-oh. There he is. Oh, phew. I was getting worried. I thought maybe you... Okay, so we're going to do a Sydney Sweeney jeans ad to finish up. Let's open a new link. Yes, all right. We're going to finish with a Sydney. I hope it's short because I'm supposed to be gone already. Oh, it's only 32 seconds. We can do it. All right, here's a redub of the Sydney Sweeney jean ad, and I hope that it's at least YouTube friendly. Well, it's on YouTube, so it must be. So here we go. Here's how we're going to finish the show. Oh, not like that, though. Got to have sound. Let's try that again. Here we go. Sydney Sweeney to end the week.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Okay.
And I definitely am white-skinned and blue-eyed because of my genes. If you think this is eugenics or something Nazi, perhaps it is you that is the racist here. But why would you think that?
Because they're stupid.
Could it be you're jealous I'm not the elephant in this room? But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you you're a fucking retard.
Sydney Sweeney has her jeans.
Retard, right?
Oh my God. All right, that's in the links today. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's show. Thank you for all the people throwing in questions, the sponsors, the people in the chat, and just you for being you. If you're here, you're not queer. So, well, you might be, but I don't know. That doesn't matter. That's it. Thank you. Got to go. Had a wonderful week, and you have a wonderful weekend. My name is PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Yay! Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.